Hello beautiful people, it's Rufi Star and I hope you all are doing well. Today I have come with a Zoro video where I will be explaining why Zoro is a lot stronger than we think. I started this Stronger Than We Think series mainly for the reason of justifying and breaking down the misunderstanding that people have in terms of certain characters in the community, which leads to the downplaying and disrespect of those characters, as well as always creates a heated discussion. My first video in this series was about Mihawk. So if you haven't checked it out yet, then I recommend you to also watch that video after this to understand Mihawk more better. I will also be leaving a card for the video up here. Anyways, a quick disclaimer. I will be talking about the manga and its latest development, so do proceed carefully. Also, as we really do not have concrete evidence to back Zoro up like the actual feats, I will be using my headcanon mixed in with Zoro's portrayal, his role in the Straw Hats in the future, and his big dream of course. But one note before I start, I do not think that Zoro is as strong as Luffy, or some people even say he is stronger than Luffy, which is absurd to think of in my opinion because Luffy is the main protagonist. He is the captain, and even the portrayal has always been shown that Luffy is the superior one in terms of strength and power than Zoro. He has had more battle experience and has grown exponentially in the new world. So yeah, Luffy without a doubt is and will always be stronger than Zoro. And also, before we begin, do subscribe and hit the like button and comment if you agree with the points or not. So with all that aside, let's begin. It all starts with the pre-time skip power levels of both Luffy and Zoro. For the majority of pre-time skip, Luffy and Zoro were portrayed to be around the same level and both had feats to back them up. The only major difference was Luffy fighting the main antagonist of the arc, and Zoro the second strongest from the villain side, either be it at Arlong Park or Alabasta or Enies Lobby. The main reason why Zoro was on the same level as Luffy was because of Luffy's lack of advancement use of his devil fruit and techniques. But this soon changed forever as in Enies Lobby, Luffy unlocked gears to overcome and defeat the highly skilled CP9 members. The introduction of Gear 2nd and Gear 3rd, which changed the entire game against the CP9 and resulted in the victory of the Straw Hats. Luffy became so much stronger than before that he was able to fight Rob Lucy 1v1, the strongest member of CP9, and ultimately even defeat him. This exact moment just solidified that the captain of the Straw Hats is the strongest and worthy of the respect from his crewmates. In the other hand, to be fair and maintain the power parity in the monster trio, Zoro and Sanji were also given new techniques to compensate with Luffy's power-ups. In case of Zoro, he was given Ashura, a 9-sword style technique which allowed him to literally turn into the avatar of the real Ashura, and of course, it being a mere illusion completely created from the pure extension of his spirit and willpower. While in this form or state, whatever you want to call it, he was effortlessly able to one-shot Kaku, against who he was having a tougher time previously. And as far as we have seen, Ashura doesn't have any weaknesses. And coming to Sanji, he was given Diable Jambe, which was a boost to his Black Leg style, simply to his style of fighting. Basically, Diable Jambe was about adding fire to his legs, where the fire generated by spinning his legs quickly, resulting in heating up the legs due to friction. He also, same as Zoro, was effortlessly able to defeat Zabra, who is very close to the power level of Kaku. And like Zoro, he didn't have a disadvantage while using this technique. Which brings us to Luffy. Even though Luffy had 2 brand new gears, his Gear 3rd had a major disadvantage, which was, after one use, deflated his body seemingly to a small child, leaving him vulnerable all over. So I would say Zoro was still close to Luffy's level even after Enies Lobby and would give him a very tough fight even if he was to be the victor. But again, as said before, the fact remains that for the pre-time skip, especially after Enies Lobby, Luffy was firmly shown with equal feats to be stronger than Zoro. Now let's come to the real course for the main meal. Post-time skip showings from Luffy and Zoro. After the time skip, the Straw Hats were shown to have grown a lot, especially the monster trio, as the main motto of these 2 years was just to train, gain experience and become stronger for the new world. And the time skip was perfect as all of them became significantly stronger than before. And moreover again, the monster trio learned Haki and improved their fighting capabilities to much higher degree. So much so that in their introduction after the time skip, we saw a tremendous jump in power as the 3 of them were casually shown to destroy the pacifistas. And in terms of Luffy, He learned the basics of all three types of Haki and had improved his Gear 2nd and Gear 3rd. Like he was able to use Gear 3rd attacks infused with Haki without any consequences and even combine Gear 2nd and Gear 3rd and use it at the same time for more effectiveness. Same like Luffy, Zoro also learned the two types of Haki and had improved his previous moves greatly. Like his pound cannons improved from 2 and 3 figures to 3 and 4 figures. For instance, his 72 pound cannon became 720 and his 108 became 1080 pound cannon. Even his Onigiri improved to Rengoku Onigiri as now he is able to use it with Haki. And the last one, his secret technique, 3000 volts or simply Santorio Ogi Sanzen Sekai, was upgraded to Grade 3000 Grade 1000 volts or simply Santorio Ogi Ichidai Sanzen Daisen Sekai. So in terms of the base stats and power up, Luffy and Zoro were given equal amounts of improvement and it was to be expected because Luffy had really to train him and Zoro had Mihawk. And this equal amount of growth and strength was further solidified as when the Monster Trio attack was shown to be equally lethal to Kraken, the giant monster obstacle they had to get rid of to reach Fishman Island. Luffy used Elephant Gun, Zoro used his Santorio secret technique Crossroad of 6 paths, also called as Santorio Ogi Rikudono Suzi, and Sanji using Deeble Jambe Grilled Shot. Now people might argue that Luffy was using it in the presence of the sea, so it became weaker, and I totally agree on that fact. But we also need to consider that Luffy was using Haki, whereas Zoro was not using it. So bringing that argument is not fair. Anyways, as I said, they were portrayed to be around the same level right after the time skip. In the next point, I want to highlight Zoro's personality after the time skip. Zoro looked more calmer, sharper and focused than before as he even reminded Luffy to remain dedicated as they now have entered the new world. And in every fight, he has been showing overwhelming defeat to his opponent with an additional treat of showing them how much dedicated and serious he is about his future goals. The feats of his awesomeness so far are also equally amazing, like slicing through Pika's mountain-sized stone body effortlessly, and even defeating full-body Haki armored Pika in one blow. Cutting Monet clean without Haki even though she was a Logia user, and almost finishing up Hori in one blow underwater. Dealing with Hawkins easily and defeating Killer with one attack, which all means that he has absolutely dominated each and every enemy with relative ease, basically making them look like fodders in the new world. But still, with all these showings of improvement on his portrayal, power and feat, he is still considered leaps and bounds below Luffy, or simply to put that some people still believe he is significantly weaker than Luffy. And the main reason for that is Luffy's Gear 4. Yeah, mainly people think that just with Gear 4, Luffy is far ahead from even Zoro. And to be honest, I don't entirely blame those people because Zoro lacks feats and showings compared to Luffy. But that still doesn't mean Luffy being tiers above Zoro just with Gear 4 is a fact. What we need to understand here is fairly simple. Although this is going to be headcanon from me, I am still considering various key factors which are important and make sense. As previously said, every Straw Hats had 2 years to improve and hone their skills and experience to prepare for the new world. But particularly Luffy and Zoro were shown to be given very much special treatment when it came to improving their power levels. Luffy had a perfect teacher as really knows Haki through and through and is a master of it. And same like Luffy, Zoro had a perfect teacher, Dracule Mihawk, the strongest swordsman in the world. And both Luffy and Zoro trained every single day for 2 years to better their skills, their level, and the end result from Luffy aside from learning Haki and improving his gears was Gear 4. This until now has been the deciding factor for Luffy in most of the major battles in the new world. This power was absolutely required for him to overcome some of his deadliest foes. And this also in return made him commander level, letting him fight with the commanders in equal footings. This was the true fruition of his 2 years training. Now by showing this fact, I wanted to make an argument about if Luffy got a major power up from his training, then why wouldn't Zoro also get a power up? Just like Luffy, Zoro has improved tremendously with the knowledge of Haki and new improved attacks and techniques. As I said before, Zoro's old attacks have all been improved by a huge margin and he also has learned some new deadly attacks like the Santorio Ogi Rikudo no Suji, which is a secret technique. So it's completely reasonable to suspect that Zoro still has his hidden card to play, which will allow him to compete with the powers of Gear 4 and makes him comparable to Luffy. Now again, do not get me wrong here, I am not saying he would be equally as strong as Gear 4, but considering his importance and role, he should be able to give him a good fight even in Gear 4. And the power up can be anything, like the improved version of Ashura, if we also consider him improving this technique in particular, or like a new form, maybe Indra, because even Luffy had a whole new gears to level up. So the possibility is very wide, and him having a hidden power, at least in my opinion, is very necessary. More so now considering that Luffy has battle experience, Haki blooming, which resulted him in learning future sight, and the most advanced form of armament Haki to some degree. So the table has turned drastically in the favor of Luffy. Still, many people counter this by saying that Zoro now has Enma. And the thing here we need to understand is, Enma is actually a power up for Zoro to compensate with Luffy's new Haki training and power, not to contest with Gear 4 in power, because Enma's main forte is also armament Haki based. Same with Sanji's red suit in my opinion. Also keeping in mind that we still have Gear 4 level of power up for Zoro, and honestly there's no way just Enma is going to be the leveling format for Zoro to be comparable to Luffy right now. It just doesn't make any sense because pretty much the chance created by the 2 years time to evolve Zoro would be completely wasted. Also, it would be an ass pull if Zoro levels up just with Enma because he only had like 1 week of training. So Zoro without any doubt has one major power up which we will see in this upcoming war. And it should definitely be as significant power up as Gear 4. Same with Sanji. Yeah, I do think Sanji also has a power up which he hasn't shown us yet. Lastly, I want to talk about his role in a very short way. Zoro is destined to become greatness just like Luffy. He will be the next strongest swordsman, and Mihawk in my opinion is definitely a Yonko level character. Moreover, now considering he is the right hand of the next Pirate King, who will always be comparable to his captain. Therefore, as per my conclusion, I would like to say Zoro even without Enma and battle experience should be around the level of Gear 4 in general, considering the fact that he, like Luffy, also got a major upgrade in the course of 2 years training, making him commander level, just like Luffy before his fights with the commanders. And now with Enma, a power up for him to compensate with Luffy's new Haki training, and as seen in chapter 977, he has somewhat better control using it at this point. So he should be around 2nd commander level right now, while Luffy easily being 1st commander level. And that was the video guys. If you do agree, smash that like button, and if your opinion still differs, then do comment down and finally subscribe for more awesome future content, and I will catch you guys in the next video.